What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Screen Time. I'm your host, Evan Roberts. Alongside me today, we got Indiana's Pride and Joy, Michael Vincent. We've got everybody's brother from another mother, Spencer Lyon, and the one-man show, Dylan Rock Band Evans.
What's up, Low Gang? Everyone keep it Maverick.
Oh man.
Anyways, now that I'm finished with that.
Something just came up. I gotta go. We gotta cut the stream. How are you guys doing today? Oh, so welcome back to the third week of Ghibli July.
Third
That sounds so close to like.
Second week. Shit.
It sounds so
Oopsies.
close to
Oh, whatever.
Ghibli July. It just.
Whatever.
But I love it.
How are you guys doing on this fine Sunday?
Good.
Pretty good.
July 12th. Did anybody celebrate 7-Eleven yesterday?
No.
Yeah.
They canceled it. There was no Slurpee Day.
Did they? That makes sense. That's a good idea. Okay.
You know,
I didn't
'cause
even
of the
think about it.
virus.
Yeah. Classic America.
7-Eleven has our back.
Unlike other.
Ooh.
Uh.
So
Everywhere.
today we'll be discussing Princess Mononoke, another Studio Ghibli classic. I had never seen this before yesterday, or I guess technically, yeah, last night and this morning. I watched half last night and half this morning, so I'd never seen it before yesterday. Had any of you seen it before?
No,
I'd seen it once. Yeah.
I've seen a
Okay.
ton of screenshots.
Obviously,
and,
Rock
like,
Band hasn't.
Yeah, and references to it. But no, I have never seen this movie before, and so it really threw me for a loop really quick.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, no, I actually ended up like really liking this movie. I was really tired watching it, and it woke me back up, and I finished the whole thing. I fully expected to fall asleep.
I honestly think that I like this more than I like Spirited Away. Like, I like Spirited Away, but I think as an entire movie, I liked this more in general.
Yeah.
I feel
Okay.
the same way.
Hmm.
honestly.
Unfortunately, the only time I've seen Spirited Away was in theaters.
Maybe if you were here last.
I'm sorry I couldn't be here for the last one. The only time I'd seen Spirited Away was in theaters the day it came out with my mom on, I think, a Tuesday afternoon with only two other people in the theater because
Why did you guys go see it?
I was a child and it was an animated movie. And my mom was just trying to find something for me to do. Let me see here. Spirited Away. When was the release date?
It came out in like July of 2001 or something.
2002.
They were probably just
Yeah.
So you were probably just like on summer break or something.
So I was in second grade. I was leaving first grade, going into second, something like that. And I saw like, ooh, cartoon. So naturally my mom's like, let's go see it. And I can still remember the look on my mom's face, like halfway through that
And her
movie.
parents turned to pigs.
She's just like looking at, like, I just remember her going like this.
I bet you enjoyed that.
Anyways, we're not talking about Spirited
Yeah,
Away
no.
today. We're talking about Princess Mononoke. Written and directed by Hayao Miyazaki. Holy shit, I
Of
butchered his
course.
name. Just like last week. Also produced by Toshio Suzuki, just like last week.
His last name is
The
Suzuki.
budget was $23.5 million USD, which was about 1 billion yen or something. And its box office was 159.4 million. So it made a good bit
Yeah.
back. I don't think as much as Spirited Away, but it
Well, also you have to think this movie came out in '97, and so
yeah. Well, so speaking of Spirited Away, Miyazaki almost retired after this movie, but decided not to.
Really?
And then like he went on to make like Spirited Away and I believe Howl's Moving Castle. Like just a bunch of other movies. So thank God he didn't retire, am I
yeah,
right?
because he has a big lineup of like, just he's like known, like like a Ghibli
I mean, yeah,
movie.
Ghibli movies
Ghibli.
they're very well
Yeah.
known. So I'm gonna say something. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Speaking of, so a fun fact about the distribution for this movie was Harvey Weinstein had the North American distribution rights to this movie, and he approached Miyazaki and insisted that they shorten the movie down because he thought that it would do better for like American audiences. And Miyazaki refused because he was still upset that the Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind had been cut down a lot. And so he just left the meeting. And then several days later, Toshio Suzuki, the producer, sent a katana to Weinstein's office. And on the katana, it was embedded "no cuts." And then the film was later released in the U.S. in its uncut version. And then later in an interview, Miyazaki was asked like about the incident, and he simply smiled and stated, "I defeated him."
That's a ballsy.
That's the story of how Miyazaki defeated Harvey
That's
Weinstein.
crazy.
Also, fuck Harvey
Harvey
Weinstein.
That's cool.
God.
So
that's a really cool like. That's just
yeah,
fucking
it's
awesome.
a really cool little story.
I love that.
All right, so I guess with that out of the way, we'll dive into some of the plot. I guess at any point, if you guys want to say something, just like stop me, or if I'm talking, just tell me to shut up. Or just like
I'll say one thing: this isn't a kids movie.
Yeah.
Again,
when I'm telling the plot, tell me about when you realized it wasn't a kids movie.
I know the exact moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I bet I could figure it out. It's probably almost instantly.
Almost.
Like 10 minutes in.
Roughly 10 minutes, yeah.
Is that when the
whatever.
Is that when
so
scene starts?
it opens up with a monologue from our boy Keith David. I don't remember exactly what he said. He basically just says that like humans and animals used to live like peace or something.
Roughly.
I don't remember exactly what he said. Probably should have wrote that down, but I didn't.
It was basically saying something about how humans are bullshit and ruin everything.
I think
pretty much.
I think that's his theme in a lot of these, like with the that river spirited away.
Well, yeah. Miyazaki is he's very much like humans are ruining.
Human, yeah.
It's true, yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So Ashitaka is heading towards the watchtower. The wise woman is calling everyone back to the village. And like he passes 3 girls, one of whom we find out later is his sister. And so he gets to the watchtower, and there's the watchman guy. I can't remember his name, but he's chilling. And then there's like a rumbling, and then this giant worm monster comes out of what I assumed was a giant worm monster.
Yeah.
Comes out of the forest, and it like attacks the tower, and then starts heading towards the village. And then Ashitaka starts to chase after it. We find out, or he's chasing after it, and he just like he's trying to distract it to keep it away from the village. He shoots it and makes it mad, and then it attacks him, and it like touches his arm, and then he shoots it in the eye and kills it. And then Ashitaka's like freaking out and holding his arm, and it's like burning him, and it's cursed him basically. The beast, as it's dying, says that they will suffer, and then it just decomposes instantly.
Yeah, it was basically saying something like humanity's gonna suffer or something like that. Like he's gonna kill them all. Like it got really dark at that point. Not where I thought it was a kids movie. Still,
Wow.
Yeah, no, I still thought it was a kids movie for some reason. I just like
after you saw the corpse of a dead giant boar, you weren't like, hey, maybe this isn't a
just like
kid's
withering
movie.
away. No, I was still just like, okay, that was kind of messed up, but let's keep going.
So we get to it's like a meeting with the wise woman and like I guess the elders of the village or whatever, and they're just basically like the infection will spread and just take over Ashitaka and kill him. And he needs to go west and find out what poisoned the boar. And so he has to cut his hair, or he cuts. I kind of missed the whole thing. I guess it's just like a symbolic thing that like he has to cut his hair when he leaves, and he's dead to them forever.
Yeah, something like that. They're like, if you don't go, you'll die, so you have to. But we don't want you to.
Yeah,
also,
they
if
said
you
they
go,
can
you
never
can't come
talk to
back.
him ever again, and they're dead to him, or that he's dead to them.
Yeah, because they're basically like I mean, they're kind of like a village that like, I mean, we'll find out later that like people think that they're like the people that he's from are dead. Like they think that they died like hundreds of years ago. So as he's leaving, his sister runs up to him and gives him a crystal dagger so that he'll never forget her.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, I wish my sister gave me more crystal daggers.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Also, that didn't seem like nearly like emotional enough for me.
I mean, he's banished. He's got to do what he's got to do.
Forever. And like she was like, okay, well, don't forget me. Bye.
Well,
I mean,
what can she do?
It was late at night. She's tired.
She's tired. Just like, all right, I'm gonna go to bed now. See you never, nerd.
What are you doing, Stepbro?
No.
So then we get to Ashitaka, sees like a burning village in the distance after he's been traveling for a little bit, and he starts to head towards it. And at first he's like, "Oh, is it some kind of fight?" And he's like, "No, it's a massacre." And the samurai are just like slaughtering this town. He shoots an arrow, and his arm starts to just freak out, kind of like how your stomach does after you eat too much Taco Bell. That's what his arm was doing. It was just like going crazy. And then he shoots his arrow, and it just takes this dude's arm off. Like,
yeah, both of them.
That was the scene. That was the scene that did it. Yes. Whenever I saw the limbs,
like right before it, where like they were chasing the guys through the rice or the fields, and that one samurai just lops his sword and lops that one dude's arm.
That's right.
Oh shit.
That was it. I thought
I missed that.
I thought it was after that. I couldn't remember. But yeah, no, it was one of those two scenes right there. Whenever I just saw people being beheaded and just like limbs coming off, I was like, oh, this isn't a fucking kids movie at all.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, a lot of limbs come off in this movie.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Star Wars movie. So then, he shoots the dude's arms off, and then he shoots someone's head off.
Yeah.
Just completely shoots someone's head off.
How wide are like the tips of these arrows? Are they just saw blades
I don't
that
know.
he's shooting at him?
No, these guys just have really thin necks.
Added extra strength when he was firing the arrows.
Yeah, it does. Like, the velocity is just so fast that it just like.
You would think that would just make
But
it
also
go through a lot easier.
Well, what you can't see, so it only showed you from this direction. From this side, their necks are actually paper thin, so it just went right through.
It just gone. That was it. That's all it took.
Yeah, something that most people don't know about samurai is that they actually have very thin necks. It's a requirement.
Dude, the guy that was by the guy that's head got shot off with an arrow, he's very chill about it. He's just like,
yeah, he just
he sees it all the time.
Continues riding just like thin necks. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's our one curse.
Like, there goes old thin neck Willie.
Thin neck.
We warned him about it.
We said, hey, watch out for arrows, thin neck. He didn't listen.
He said, hey guys, stop making fun of my thin neck.
And
anyways.
They just slapped his head around. They just started wobbling.
Little bobblehead.
Need more force and it'd come right off.
Yeah, he riding his horse. He's like, anyways, sorry. But then he gets chased, I guess, a little bit. Do they chase him, right?
Yeah, they chase him down
do they chase him, or does he just run away? He just gets away, right? Like, they don't really
chase him a little. I mean, he just shot like 2 arrows and it murdered all of them.
Yeah, he gets to a new town, and we see Billy Bob Thornton trying to buy something. And then they're like, oh, he's here or whatever. And then we show Ashitaka trying to buy some rice, but he gives a little gold nugget that looks just like the little gold nugget from Spirited Away. I don't know. I'm just maybe this guy copied Spirited Away. I don't know.
It came out before,
but listen, Spencer. But the girl is like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "What is this? This isn't money. What is this little nugget?" And then homeboy Jigo, I think his name is. They didn't say it yet, but I think we find out later his name is Jigo. he like comes over and he's like, "This is gold. I'd say it's worth about 3 bags of rice or something." And then so Ashitaka starts to leave, and then Jigo comes with him, and they're being followed, and Jigo's like, "Let's show them how fast we can run." Or he's like, "They'll slit our throats when we go to sleep,
Yeah,
so let's show them how fast we can run."
that was
They run
that was
off.
another part that fucked me up. How casually he just said they're gonna slit our throats in our sleep,
I mean,
and
that's
just
just like
kind
a
of
thing
giggled
that
about
people
it.
would do,
Yeah,
though,
it
in
Yeah,
like
this
feudal
is
Japan.
during a period when everyone's just fighting with each other because humanity kind of sucks.
Yeah, this is
so it's
this was
2020 in this movie.
Miyazaki's. Yeah, basically, this is Miyazaki's only movie set in feudal Japan.
Huh?
Yeah, dude, this is,
Interesting.
he had to worry more about his own balance than other people slitting his throat. Did you see his
Which,
shoes?
yeah,
Just a
I loved
single
his
slat.
shoes.
Dude, they're just a slab, a block of wood.
Which I love that, like, I mean, we'll see it later, but I love that, like, this movie was like, it was in the period of time where like they were just starting to develop like firearms.
Yeah,
So it's like a whole new
and
thing.
you'll see it, or we'll talk about it later. How some people were holding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're guns. They're not like, they're not modern guns. They're
Yeah.
like little
Yeah.
shoulder
Oh, I know.
cannons. So they're camping. Ashitaka and Jigo are camping, and Jigo basically like says that he knows who the Amishi people are, and he just tells them like to keep going farther west or whatever, to go to the forest, like the
Yeah.
Great Forest. And then he like says he makes a little like, "Oh, I'll see you there." Like he says it like like either after he's gone or under his breath or something.
Mhm.
And then it shows some workers trying to get rice back to their town in the middle of like a rainstorm, and some wolves show up.
Mhm.
They're like, "Don't let them scare the oxen."
Yeah.
Then they pull out their big old Mulan guns and start shooting at the
Yeah,
wolves.
it's like a dragon head, like firework
Yeah.
almost from the looks of it. But yeah, it just starts shooting, just like a regular gun essentially, just with a lot more gunpowder
Yeah.
in it. And yeah, there's like a lady leading them, like as their general sort of deal, telling them all what to do. Like, don't shoot until you can. What is it? See the whites of their eyes? Does she say that? Or am I
Yeah.
just
I don't know if
connecting
she said that,
movies?
but that's like a saying.
Yeah,
we'll say.
exactly.
Fun fact about Lady Eboshi,
That's her name.
which we don't know her name yet, but she's the only. She wears red lipstick,
Mhm.
so she's one of the few characters in Studio Ghibli movies that has visible lips.
Oh,
Most of them are just like you just can't, like, it's just they have a face, like they don't have like lips, like it's just like their mouth is just like a line.
That's messing me up right now. How I never noticed that at all.
Yeah, I never noticed it because it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like, it's not like
exactly.
a
It
thing
really
that
shouldn't
matters.
matter, but at the same time, that's just like a really cool thing to throw in.
So basically, then like a bigger wolf shows up, and they shoot it, and it falls off a cliff, and they said, "Oh, we killed her," and then she's like, "Oh, she'll be back," or like she'll basically like, "Oh,
Make
she'll be
war to
back,"
kill a
or whatever.
god.
Yeah. So then Ashitaka finds some injured people, 2 injured men, and as he's doing that, he sees a girl and he sees the girl that was riding. Oh yeah, a girl was riding one of the smaller
Yeah.
wolves, and so then he sees her like ride up and like suck the blood and spit it out of the bigger wolf, out of like the gunshot
That
wound.
messed me up too.
And Ashitaka is like, "Are you gods?" And then she's just like, "Fuck off!" Like she says, "Go away."
Yeah, she was
Like,
just like, "Are you the spirit of the forest?" I think is what he says. And yeah, she basically just tells him to go away immediately, just like get out of here.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause he's human. They don't trust humans.
Yeah.
And then so Ashitaka goes back to the injured men, and then the little forest spirits, the Kamada, I think they're called. Hang on, I wrote it down somewhere.
Those things were very
Kadoma.
cute, but
They're
also would be very annoying.
Kodama. They reminded me of the what are the little dudes in Legend of Zelda, the Koroks or whatever. Especially in Breath of the Wild, the ones that are like they're always like making a little noise, and then when you find them, they're like yoo-hoo
Well, they were like
or
first
whatever.
introduced in Wind
Yeah, they're in Wind Waker. Yeah.
like the evolved forms of the Kokiri or whatever.
Yeah, allegedly. This whole movie, like, after I finish this, I maybe want to replay Breath of the Wild. Just like there's a lot, like you can tell that Breath of the Wild like got some inspiration. I feel like from this movie. I feel like just from like artistically.
Yeah.
This whole movie just felt like I felt like a really fun open world JRPG that I really wanted to play. I really wanted to play. Like if this was a game, I'd want to play it.
Yeah, I felt that way too.
I just want to play a cool samurai, like open world samurai game.
Simple
now.
as that.
Like in the beginning, I thought that when he was climbing up the watchtower.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, I wish I could do that like in a video game or something like that. Just,
Yeah, Assassin's Creed, baby.
yeah.
Tsushima in like 5 days.
Yeah, I might have to dust off my PlayStation. Excuse me. So then the Kodama show up, and one of the injured guys. So there's one of the guys is awake, and one of them is not awake.
Yeah.
He's like freaking out about it. He like thinks that they're evil, like, and so then Ashitaka's like, "Can you lead us to your home, or lead us to our home, or whatever he says?" And then so they start to follow them. And then they get to like a little like lake in the middle of the forest where he says this is a place for gods and demons. And then Ashitaka sees a deer god. We assume, we don't know who it is yet. Just see a shadow of like this deer with a billion antlers. The fucking King Chad deer over here.
That's a true Chad deer.
And then his arm starts to like freak out again, and so he sticks it in the water, and that like kind of seems to calm it down. So then Ashitaka and the men make it back to their hometown, which is Irontown, and the town is excited to see that Kuroku is not dead. Which they weren't excited to see the other guy that was like passed out, but they were excited to see the guy that was awake.
Yeah, he's like the comedian guy. Everyone just like
and then his wife,
the jester.
Yeah, his wife comes out and starts like roasting him. Like, I wish you would have died so I could get a better husband.
Dude, yeah, no. The way that she was just tearing him apart was killing me. Just like,
classic.
God, he's such a worthless man. Like, I wish he would have died. I love him.
Yeah. And then she like starts hitting on Ashitaka.
Mm-hmm.
You must
Lady Eboshi's like, I want to meet with you later, dog.
Yeah, and basically every woman in this town was swooning over him too.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah, so, yeah, basically like all the women and the men hate each other.
Yeah, they really do. After that, it was he wanted to see what all the women do in that town, because the men go off and like forge and stuff like, or like looking for.
They like mine, and the women do the bellows.
Yeah, exactly.
So then later, Ashitaka goes and meets with Eboshi, and he basically like, it comes out that like Eboshi's rifles are what caused the poisoning of the boar god.
Yeah, that we saw get killed in the beginning.
Yeah, and he's like upset about it, that she would just like kill like a god. And then his arm tries to like kill her, but he like stops it.
Yeah, like reaches for his sword. Like you see it like spasming out, like we saw earlier, and it just starts going for it. And the way how she just kind of like plays it off, just like it seems like you want to kill me or something like that. And he's just like, part of me does. And she's so like, easy. She doesn't even budge.
Dude, she's a baller.
For it's so easy that the Arbiter is a voice in this movie.
I know.
The boar.
He's the elder boar, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the blind one later.
Spoiler.
Whatever.
For a 23-year-old movie? Yeah.
Eboshi's like, I'm gonna kill the forest spirit. Eboshi wants to kill it because she wants to take over she wants to like get rid of the forest to like mine and stuff.
Yeah, she just wants to cut it all down to get more coal and iron and stuff like that to make it like one of the richest villages ever. Basically, just selfish reasons.
Also, very clever
Hmm.
name, Iron Town.
Yeah,
For that
you know.
dude.
Whatever
But
their
they do.
main export is, name it that.
Yeah, it's no Lumbridge, tell you
They
that.
called it Gun Town.
I should have called it Bad People Town.
Oh, wait,
Actually, they're not bad. It's very morally gray. This whole
Poor
like
Town.
it's very it's very ambiguous.
They're just living their lives, but
What'd you say, Rock
I
Band?
said Whore Town.
I didn't like
They're not anymore. They used to be, but
Okay.
they are no longer work at brothels. They are free women.
X4? Oh yeah,
They-
that's another.
They don't.
That's another thing that kind of shows the lady's morals. Is that she will chop down the forest and kill gods left and right, but at the same time she goes and buys up all these like prostitutes contracts in these brothels to basically free them and let them come willingly work with her.
they're loyal because she saved him.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know. There's a gray area there.
Yeah. So then, like nightfall, or it's nighttime, and we see Mononoke and the two wolves like coming towards Iron Town, and they like run up the wall, and Mononoke jumps in, and she basically wants. There's just like a bunch of stuff happens, like they're all shooting at her, and then they try to set a trap for her, and Ashitaka is like, "Don't do it, it's a trap," but she goes down there anyways, and so Mononoke is trying to fight Eboshi and like attempts to kill her, and then Ashitaka just gets like real mad,
Mhm. Yeah.
and he starts walking towards them, and he's walking towards the main guard dude, and just like his cursed arm just bends the sword like backwards.
Yeah.
Are you-
You start
It's a-
seeing like a semi-transparent like
Yeah, you see like the
squid,
like the ghost like tentacles.
like worm come out, and it just
Yeah.
starts bending the sword like it's nothing.
his nine tails.
Which I kind of thought we would see that later too, but
Wait, what'd you say, Michael?
His nine tails chakra started showing.
Yeah, and it also kind of showed
He went Super
previous to
Saiyan.
this whenever he went to go see what the ex prostitutes did for a living. He went in there and he started doing their job, and like at one point, what it was is that they were trying to like provide air for like the fire or something like that.
Bellows.
they're
yeah,
just-
it's a bellows.
The bellows, yeah, but it's like these giant ones that like 4 women on each side are like pressing down with their legs, and when you see him doing it, it's like lifting the women up on the other side. And
I mean, he's a man. He's stronger than any woman. Okay.
True.
so we're gonna go ahead and cut it off for this week. Now we'll see y'all next week.
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna be watching.
Well, I will say,
Not
so
a
on that
Ghibli
note,
movie.
one thing that I really enjoy about Ghibli movies is that like pretty much every Ghibli movie is just like has very strong female characters. Like it's not forced down your throat. It's not like that scene from Endgame where
Yep.
all the women show
Yep.
up and they're like, "We're gonna help." It's like I get it.
She's not
It's
alone.
fine. But that scene was so cheesy.
It was-
Like I didn't hate it. I just thought that the scene itself was cheesy.
Yeah.
Like Amanda
But
Seyfried.
yeah, like Ghibli movies are just like they're like every Ghibli movie has like at least one strong female character.
Mhm.
Like and they're usually like main characters.
Yeah.
But so then Ashitaka like knocks out Eboshi and Princess Mononoke. And he tells the townspeople to come get Eboshi, and then he starts to like leave with Mononoke, and a woman is like, if you leave, I'll shoot you, like she like killed my husband or whatever. And so he just starts to walk away, and then she straight up shoots him,
Well, she gets
and he just keeps
Did it
walking,
like it was nothing.
yeah. He just takes it, man.
like,
Yeah.
and he's just bleeding all over the place,
Yeah.
and he just keeps
Yeah, no, there's
walking.
a clear hole like going through his abdomen.
That's
like,
an
yeah,
anime
Yeah, it was like some
story.
Dragon Ball Z when Piccolo special beam Cannon Goku, and
No, it
you know, it was
straight
like
through and through, and he just kept walking like he wasn't even touched. And I think these like few scenes right here are just showing how strong that demon that he's got in his arm is just making him.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
hands a gate that takes 10 minutes.
I think it's also
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, yeah, I think it's also like willpower. Yeah, and then he like gets the gate, and they're like, it takes 10 men to open this, and he just like
Just
like
pushing
pushes it
yeah.
open, and then he leaves, and then we get to like they're riding up the hill, and Ashitaka falls off of like he passes out, and falls off the off his deer.
Yeah, he's been riding a deer this whole time. Forgot to mention that.
Isn't it an elk?
An elk, yeah, it's
Yeah,
actually a red
technically.
elk named Yakul.
Christ.
So put some respect on Yakul, dog.
He's a pretty badass
Um,
character.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
for real. Yeah.
So then these like ape spirits show up, and they're like, we want to take Ashitaka, we want to eat his ass. And Mononoke and the wolves are like, no dice.
Yeah.
You skipped the part where the wolves
What-
show up and almost fucking.
Oh yeah, he falls off,
falls-
and the wolf just gnaws on his head, and
Yeah.
he's like, he should be dead there.
Yeah.
Like that would
No.
kill anybody. Like, first of all, he's got a gunshot wound. He's bled out. Like he's probably lost most of his blood. He's passed out on the ground, and this wolf just goes,
A
"Brr," and
a
it's just
giant
like
wolf puts his whole head in his mouth, and like everyone here
That was-
knows
that
what
scene-
it's like whenever a dog gets a new chew toy and just starts shaking it around their head. That's exactly what this dog was about to do with this man's head, just real casually. And she's like, "No, stop!" And then whenever you see the wolf back up, you see scrapes just all over
Yeah.
him, just like it was nothing.
I forgot about that
Yeah.
part. Thank you for reminding me. So then they just, yeah. So that happened. Then they take him to the tree spirit, heal him, and we see. Then it's like there's just some stuff with Jigo and the Nightwalker approach like shows up, and then we find out that the forest spirit turns into the Nightwalker at night, and in the daytime it turns back to the forest spirit. And then we see a bunch of boars show up, and it's a new boar tribe led by this big old white old boar.
Mhm.
Which do they say his name there? Yeah, they
think
say
they do, yes.
Okota. Okota, Koto, one of
Something
those.
like that.
So the forest spirit revives Ashitaka. He doesn't have the bullet wound, but he still has the curse mark. Oh yeah, so when they took Ashitaka and put him into like the water, Mononoke took the reins off of Yakul and was like, you can like, you're free to go, you can leave. But Yakul stayed, and Mononoke says that he stayed by his side like the whole time. And the boars come into the forest, and they come up to the wolves, and they're angry about Nago, who was the other boar god. And basically, so yeah, they're angry about Nago, and then Ashitaka's like, I killed him, and Okoto is just like, I forgive you, or whatever. And then they tell him to leave, and the boars want to kill all the humans because they like killed the boars, and they took over like their land and stuff.
Yeah, because the more they get, the more it was explained, like the more land that got taken, and like the more they kept getting killed, it was like the more unintelligent the animals became,
Yeah.
because of all the deforestation and
Mhm.
slaughter of their kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was basically saying at some point we're just gonna become squealing animals.
Yeah. Which, I
Crazy.
guess it did. It's canon.
Deboshi and her people fight off some samurai, and they fucking blast them with some guns, which, like, you know, a little one-sided there. And then a messenger approaches, and he wants to give a message to Eboshi, but then the ladies of the town just shoot at him.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Jigo shows up, and he's like, I got this thing from the Emperor. He wants the spirit, the forest spirit's head, because the Emperor believes that it will like give him immortality or whatever. And then he asks if a stranger has been through here, and then Eboshi says came and went.
Yep.
And then
You good?
so then like yeah, it was called a burp rock band. Then Ashitaka and Mononoke are going to sleep. And Ashitaka wakes up in the morning. Or he wakes up in the middle of the night. And
He goes out and talks to the
he goes out into
large wolf.
Yeah, he goes out, and then the big wolf, Moro, is up behind him. And he basically is just like, leave at sunrise. And if you return, I'll kill you. It's basically the gist of their conversation. Then when they get up,
because he like this, he's still in the lake in the forest right now, and he goes back to the fortress while they're being attacked by all the samurai and stuff. Isn't that where that happens?
It's after the samurai attacking the.
That's
Iron
later.
Man was a little bit later.
That's later.
It's actually about to come up to it from where we're currently at.
Yeah.
So in the morning, one of the wolves. Do the two smaller wolves have names? Do they ever say their names, or are they just wolves?
I don't know if they ever actually say
I don't think they do.
So one of the wolves leads Ashitaka away, and then he like throws the crystal dagger to him to give to San, who is Mononoke's real name. Apparently Mononoke actually just means like, it's like in Japanese it means like angry or vengeful spirit, and it's just like so like I guess they just kept that as like the title, but like the character's name is actually San. But I think like they just call her that because it's like, oh, she's angry. Like the Irontown calls her Mononoke because it's vengeful and angry. So, and then Irontown is setting up a trap for so we see the wolves are like watching the people from Irontown, and they're setting up a trap for the boar. And then San decides to go fight with the boar to beat Akoto's eyes, basically. And Moro goes to the forest spirit. And then, so, yeah, Eboshi and all the men are trying to fight the boar. And then while they're gone, samurai start attacking Irontown.
Yeah.
And Ashitaka goes to help. And they tell him to go get Lady Eboshi, and they'll hold off the samurai. And then, as Ashitaka is leaving, some samurai like start shooting at him and fighting him and stuff. And so he like, Yakul gets shot by an arrow, and then he gets off and starts fighting the samurai, and he catches an arrow like a badass, straight up,
he
just
starts
like
beheading,
and then just
left
shoots
and
it back
fucking
at him.
right. Just all those thin necks out there, just getting no.
It was really cool. When he caught that arrow, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like that was like
that was a really
so
sweet
cool.
scene, honestly. Yeah, no, that was really cool to see.
Yeah, I just loved when that one dude, like, as soon as his friend's head gets shot off, he just turned around and was like, "All right, it's not working."
Yeah, he just pieces out. Yeah.
I didn't like thin neck, anyways.
Yeah. So Ashitaka gets to the place where the boars and the people fought, and there's just a bunch of dead boar and a bunch of dead men. And the men are like excited to see Ashitaka, but the huntsman guys that came with Chico are like, they're just like, get out of here, like we don't want you here. And then Ashitaka realizes one of the wolves is trapped, so he goes to like try and free it. And then one of the huntsmen like is trying to shoot him with like poison darts, and then the townspeople like revolt against the huntsmen and just like beat their ass. And then
yeah, just like, what are you doing? He basically told them like, if you want to save your town or something like that, then you have to help me. Yeah. And so that's when everyone started revolting at that point.
Mhm. Sorry, I gotta. Where was I? So yeah, the town people help. So then the townspeople help him like lift up the boar to free the wolf, and then Ashitaka and the wolf go to find. They're like, we have to find Eboshi, and then they're like, or San, and then he's like, well, San will be wherever Eboshi is or whatever. And Akoto, San, and a wolf are Akoto and the wolf are both very badly injured, and they're going to the forest spirit to like heal, basically. And then some boars pop up, and Akoto thinks that his warriors have returned from the dead, but it's actually just humans wearing like boar skins.
Oh my god, everything about this scene was just like a fever dream, because you see this giant albino blind boar show up all bloodied and massacred, basically, barely alive. And then you see a bunch of just what looks like boar pelts walking towards you out of the forest. And what is I'll let you explain it, but just like what he says and how he says it is terrifying.
I
How
mean,
he's like,
yeah,
forest spirit, like heal my like army for another battle or something like that.
yeah.
And just like the way he says that, like he obviously has no idea what's going on, doesn't realize that that's not his like army of boars or anything. But just like the way he says that, like almost desperation, but at the same time saying like, "Oh, we've won," sort of deal,
Mm-hmm.
is it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, they just come up and stab him. Just get him next
Yeah.
to him.
They so then Okoto begins to turn into demon, and San is like on him when that starts happening, and she starts getting like overtaken by the demon worms, I guess. What do you
Yeah,
want to call
because she's
them?
like she's trying to like get them off of him,
Yeah.
basically. Just like,
Trying to get the warriors away from him.
mhm.
And then Ashitaka catches up to Eboshi, and he's like, "You got to return to Irontown. The samurai are there." And then she's like, "The women can take care of themselves." Like, no, I'm not gonna go back. I gotta kill
Yeah,
the.
that was really messed up.
She's on a mission. She knows that the women can take care of themselves. Um, we get to the forest pool, and Moro is injured, and Ashitaka tries to rescue San from Akoto, and the wolves attack the men in the boar skins. And Moro is like, I was saving the last of my strength to bite off that woman's head or whatever, but I'll use it to save San. And then the forest spirit approaches, and Eboshi shoots at it, and it just like goes through, and it keeps walking, much like our friend Ashitaka.
At first you think it's dead though. Like just for like a split second, I thought.
Yeah, because it sinks into the water, but then it gets back up and just
Mhm.
starts walking back on the water.
Oh yeah, by the way, the forest spirit is a metaphor for Jesus, because it actually does walk on water in this movie. But yeah, whenever you thought it was dead, it just starts sinking in the water, and then out of nowhere it just steps back up its terrifying face and just keeps walking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention its fucking terrifying face.
Yeah, it was let me see here. Kind of a throwback to the Avatar, but the TV series, whenever there was that face swamping like
Oh yeah,
caterpillar
the
sort of
demon
deal.
thing.
Yeah, and at one point it switches over to the monkey and starts laughing. That's what it's kind of similar to, but just with a deer body.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So then Forest Spirit takes away Moro and Akoto's lives, because I guess they're done, like what purpose is done. And it begins to turn into the Nightwalker. And then Eboshi starts to like aim at it, and the Forest Spirit begins to turn the gun into like plants, but she shoots anyways and just blows its head off. And then it just like erupts into like cursed goo, basically, like some ooze.
Yeah.
And Eboshi grabs the head and gives it to Jigo, Jigo and his men like run off, and then Moro's head wakes up and bites off Eboshi's arm. He's like, I said that a wolf's head could still bite or something.
Yeah,
She mentioned
he
that
went out the
earlier.
body, something like that. Yeah.
Which is funny because earlier in the movie, she's mentioned that she was getting tired of Ashitaka's cursed arm and was like, maybe I'll just cut it off for you. And then she ends up getting her arm cut off.
Yeah, and she takes it pretty well, all things considered.
I mean, she's probably in shock.
She just lost her. She just got her whole arm bitten off, and she just kind of falls back and goes,
How ironic.
I can't believe you've done this."
So then the forest spirit starts to search for its head, and then it just like turns into like a giant cloud, and like little like arms just start like looking for the head.
Mm-hmm.
And
this part kind of reminded me of Neon Genesis Evangelion a little bit. I don't know why. Good anime. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, I've meant to watch it. I've just never seen it.
Pretty messed up.
It's on Netflix, right? Or there's like a Netflix dub or something.
Yeah, you want to watch the series and then the movie that's on there because it kind of is like a different ending.
Maybe I'll watch some of it.
Put the links to what Michael's talking about in the comments.
Maybe I'll watch some of it. Grinding out my camos.
I would recommend checking it out for sure. That movie is
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yeah.
It's about me, Evangelion. Galleon's my middle name.
A lot of people know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was Drew this whole time.
No,
There's
it's
some lore for you.
actually Galleon. Evangelion Roberts.
Robot.
Listen, Michael, don't say my birth name.
His God-given name.
So it turns into little arms, and the arms like wherever the ooze touches, it just starts to like taint the forest.
Yeah, and like die.
Yeah, it's very like sad because like it's the forest spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Killing all those little Korok looking dudes.
Yeah. And then the Nightwalker approaches. Sorry.
One thing, those things are fucking annoying. They're so cute, but can you imagine just like in bed and like right before dawn, you just start hearing those fuckers going off as the Nightwalkers coming in.
They're excited to see their daddy.
You remember those like little toys you'd have as a kid that you would just shake it and it was like holding its arms up like this and it would just go back and forth and it would just nothing. No one.
I know what you're talking.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, it was those annoying little toys that kids had that you would get at like fucking Cracker Barrel, where you would just shake it back and forth, and it looked like a little man with his arm. Yeah, like almost like a clapper, but in the middle it was someone's head, and it was the arms on each side, and it would just hit back.
The only thing I ever got from Cracker Barrel was the little thing where you draw the hair on the people. You know what I'm talking about? What's it called?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That magnetic, like,
it's like
thing.
Yeah, love that thing.
Or something like that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to detract too much. You reminded me.
Oh, I got coffee in my eye. Fill the time. Fill the space.
So, yeah, those little shitters were pretty annoying when that wind was hitting them. They're so cute looking, though. I was like, I think that'd be a nice alarm clock, though, at least.
Yeah,
just hearing all
it'd be cool.
cracking.
Like, if I lived at a house that was like on the edge of a forest, I would like to get little statues of those and like put them.
That would
on
be
the edge
terrifying.
of the forest.
It'd be also creepy to anybody who had no idea that what those. Were.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't care about what people think.
Michael sounds like the guy who burned down a forest, so he wouldn't get annoyed by them.
So then the Nightwalker starts to approach Irontown and the samurai flee, and the ooze like starts to get into Irontown, and Ashitaka's like, you guys gotta get out of here, go to the lake, the water will slow it down. And Ashitaka San go to chase after Jigo to get the head, and then they get to him and they like have a little like conversation, and then Jigo attacks Ashitaka and then San attacks one of the other men, and they fight, and then they get the head, or they end up having like getting onto this rock, and the ooze like surrounds them, and
Yeah. It was like sort of like, well, shit kind of moment. Like, I guess we have to give up.
And Jigo is basically like, if you give the head back, it'll just be like the Night Walk, like it'll be evil.
It'll be all for nothing, yeah.
So he opens the box of the head, and then Ashitaka's like, it has to be returned by human hands.
Mm-hmm.
And so then they take the head and they return it, like they hold it up and return it to the spirit.
Yeah, it was a very ceremonious moment the way he did it. He was like screaming like, I offer your head back to you or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember exactly what he said.
Great movie.
Yeah, I love the movie. So then they give their head back, and it just like goes over them and just like overtakes them. A really bright light, and then it shows the men returning to Irontown, and the spirit just kind of like dies, I guess, and like falls onto Irontown,
something like that,
and it just like puts out all the fire and stuff, and then like you see like the breeze like blow over into like the forest and the mountain, and then it's like very long shot, and then it just slowly you see like life come back to the forest and the mountain, like little like flowers and stuff start growing.
Look, like just plants and flowers, weeds, just anything just starts sprouting up in every square inch of this place.
And then Ashitaka and San reawaken, and the curse is gone. They're not cursed anymore. And San and Ashitaka, they care for each other a lot, but San can't forgive the humans, and Ashitaka knows that, so he says that she will like, stay in the forest and do her thing with the wolves and the animals, and he will go help rebuild Irontown, and he'll stay nearby, and he and Yakuo will visit often. And then we see a Kodama reappear, and then credits roll.
So, does this mean that the spirit of the forest is dead?
I think
they say, like he's like the spirit, forest spirit. It's like, it won't stay dead or stay gone.
He just says that he's like he's still here, like he's here with us, like.
Yeah, that's right. That's
kind of like Jesus.
Yeah, I think maybe it just doesn't have a physical form anymore, or maybe it was reborn. I don't know. Yeah.
Because basically now all the physical forms of all these gods are dead by the end of this movie. So I mean, did the humans win?
I mean, I don't think the humans won, because they changed their ways.
Yeah, good point. I guess all this had to happen.
We'll stop industrializing. We'll just go back to living in huts.
Yeah,
using wood.
Fun fact: this is Leonardo DiCaprio's favorite animated movie, apparently, and he was once in talks, or he was considered for the part of Ashitaka.
That would have been interesting.
And this would have been 97 Leo, so we're talking about like peak, like Titanic Leo.
Oh, damn. Oh. Okay, wait a second. I need y'all to go back just a second because everything froze up on me. I heard you say this was Leonardo DiCaprio's favorite movie.
Yeah, this is his favorite animated movie, and then he was originally considered for the part of Ashitaka.
That's pretty fucking cool. Okay.
Apparently, there's a Triforce and a Deku mask like in the movie but I don't know where they are. Her mask kind of looked like the Deku mask, like the mask that she had on originally.
Yeah.
Where she got domed.
Maybe I feel like I didn't really notice, but I feel like one of the women's outfits might have had a Triforce design on it, because I know one of them was
it did. Design. One of the ex-brothel women. Yeah, she has a like a robe on just covered in Triforce.
Oh, okay, cool.
That actually is really
I didn't
cool,
notice that. Yeah.
I think
But-
I noticed it, but I just didn't. It didn't click in my head. Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said earlier, I really do enjoy Spirited Away, but I think I enjoyed this more. But I think that's just because the like just the I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but like just the plot, not the plot, but like the content of the movie, I think just more like is more in tune to like something that I find more interesting. Just like
hmm
I mean it was obviously like mythological, but like Spirited Away is kind of more
Mhm.
like fantasy, not like fantasy, but like fairy tale-y sort
Yeah.
of. But like this is kind of like this is like Japanese like folklore, which I think was
Like,
very
Yeah.
interesting.
They copied the Avatar movie.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Can't believe they copied the Avatar movie like 10 years in advance.
Yeah. In advance. Yeah.
More 15 years in advance.
God. No, but I definitely enjoyed this movie a lot more than I expected. Not being like a huge anime fan or anything like that myself.
Me neither.
Yeah, who likes
not being
anime?
like a huge fan of any of that stuff. This movie thoroughly kept my attention like the whole time, and I really did enjoy it. So if you haven't seen it, definitely would recommend it.
Michael's getting his Bulma figure.
What?
You can't show that on Twitch, Michael. But Rapin, I know that you're not gonna. I don't think you'll be too excited about this, but we are gonna do a Ghibli movie again next week.
I mean, I'm up for it honestly.
We're gonna do Howl's Moving Castle.
I wasn't looking forward to it at first, but after watching this movie, I'm perfectly fine with it.
I don't
Probably would've
remember.
felt that way if you watched Spirited Away.
I don't remember much about Howl's Moving Castle, but like it's not. It's interesting, but it is a little different. Like it's more. It's very like fairy tale-y, I feel like. But it's
I
good.
haven't seen.
Christian
I
Bale
know
is
they're all-
Christian Bale is the voices the main character.
These are all fresh movies to me, so they've just been really good to watch. I've enjoyed both that we've discussed or whatever went over so
Yeah.
far. I
Yeah.
like this one like more overall for like the theme.
Yeah, me
but
too.
I really like it. They both have their.
I'm
things
glad
I
you're
like
getting
about
to
them.
watch these, Michael, because like they're. I mean, I never saw Mononoke, but I just know like Ghibli movies in general are just like classics that I feel like everyone should see. Like at least like the main ones. I want to watch all of like they're all on HBO Max except for there's one Ghibli movie that's not on HBO Max, and it's because Miyazaki it's technically a Ghibli movie, but it's like also not because it was Miyazaki's first movie he directed, but it was a Lupin the Third movie, so it's like it's not actually like it's not like a Ghibli original. It's like they just adapted like they did a Lupin the Third movie for like the Lupin the Third people.
Oh, okay.
But all the other
Yeah.
ones that are just actual like original ideas or adaptations of books. I believe Howl's Moving Castle might be an adaptation from a book.
Oh, okay.
But they're all on HBO Max.
I'm also looking at the cast for a couple of these movies.
They're all
And it's
they all have
surprising-
big cat like they all have like big names.
Yeah. Like including like the American
Yeah, they
cast.
like
Like it's
the
really
the
surprising.
English dub cast is always like Howl's Moving Castle, like the main like the titular character is voiced by Christian Bale, which to be
Mhm.
fair, this was right before Batman came out, so Christian Bale obviously he was a big name, but he wasn't like
that
I mean, he was
huge
still
name that we all
big,
know.
but like yeah, he wasn't Batman yet. Like but this was like
Did you
literally
hear
right before Batman.
voice in this movie?
Actually, I was reading some of the facts about Howl's Moving Castle, and at one point apparently he growls, and it sounds kind of like Batman, and it's
Batman?
just because he
Oh.
was working on the voice of Batman like before he had like this was before he had done the movie, so he was still
Yeah.
like working on the voice and like practicing to be Batman.
That's awesome.
Um,
But yeah, no, it's such a huge cast, and like you would think, like especially like Princess Mononoke back in '97, you don't think of anime like
Yeah.
in the US yet.
but also like And like some of the like, obviously like some of the people in it were big stars already, but like Keith
Jada Pinkett
David,
Smith.
like Keith David was in it, and like obviously like he's like a big like voice actor, but like I could tell that like you can tell that he's a lot younger in this movie because he sounds a
Oh yeah.
little different. And like
Hmm.
John DiMaggio is the guard guy, and he's Bender from Futurama, and Jake the dog from Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Um,
It's really weird thinking about some of these voice actors having like voice acting is like a really interesting thing to me with like how some people are. I mean, obviously some people still have like very similar voices, like John H. Benjamin or H. John
Yeah.
Benjamin, whatever his name for Archer and Bob's Burgers. That one throws me off, and the guy for Bender and Jake the dog because they one's a cartoon like a children's cartoon,
yeah.
and then the others.
Also, Jake the dog, Bender, and the gunsmith from Destiny.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
don't forget his biggest role.
Best role.
I also didn't. I texted Evan this last night whenever I first started the movie. You hear Keith David start his intro to the movie and everything, and I just immediately went, Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh. What? Oh my
It
god.
actually was Lawrence
The English dub for Nausicaa, Patrick Stewart, Shia LaBeouf, Uma Thurman, Edward James Olmos,
What?
Frank Welker, Mark Hamill. Just star-studded cast. Yeah,
Mark Hamill does a lot of voice work.
he's he's the Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Yeah, and then Totoro, like I think the main two girls it's Dakota and Elle Fanning when they were like very young. Yeah, I really enjoy Ghibli movies. I'm excited to watch potentially 2 more. Maybe more. Like I mean, we don't have to obviously just do July. We can like do some more cuz I would like to watch Totoro, and I do need to watch. I've never seen Nausicaa, so I do need to watch that.
I think it's
Okay, so it says
I'd
my
like to
neighbor.
I was saying I'd like to watch Nausicaa if we're. After
I'm
it
looking. We're talking about My Neighbor Totoro, right?
Yeah. The full
Yeah,
name is My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah, that came out in 1988, so I don't think either of the Fannings were in that.
Well, I mean, they were. So the English dub was made in 2005.
Oh, wait a second. That's right.
Yeah, so the English dub is made a lot later usually for a lot of anime movies.
That makes sense, especially back then. And yep, you nailed it. Dakota Fanning right there.
See, I think next week we'll do Howl's Moving Castle. I know we can do
Okay.
Nausicaa next week. I mean, what would you guys? I mean, I've never seen Nausicaa.
Oh.
I've seen Howl's Moving Castle, but I've like vaguely remember it. I watched it in 2010 or 2011, so it's been about a decade since I've seen it. Wow.
I'm fine with whatever because I haven't seen any of them.
Spencer, have you seen Nausicaa?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
What is it like?
Uh,
What's it? It's kind of weird, right? Or not weird, but like it's
It's like, I think it's been a while. So it's every Ghibli movie I have like faint memories of. So I can't really tell you for sure, but it's something like they're in a desert and like
Naturally, I've seen Scream on this.
I'm gonna watch a
Yeah,
trailer.
some princess or something like that. And
I'm gonna
remember
watch a trailer without
good.
sound.
we could
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be fine with whichever because I remember Princess Nausicaa being, Nausicaa the Wind and Sky being good.
I
just
would
can't
love,
plot.
I would love to see this Nausicaa movie just because it came out in 1984.
A lot
Yeah.
of Ghibli like most of Ghibli's movies are like
Older.
so out of what we've watched so far, Spirited Away is the most recent. That was 2001. Yeah. Yeah, this is 1984, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
The animation styles for these movies have like held up pretty well.
Yeah, I mean they
Yeah,
look
exactly.
great.
That's why I think it's so crazy. Like, not like whenever I'm like saying like, oh my god, that's so long ago. The reason I'm saying that is because it looks incredible. still, like, it holds up very well.
And the fact that he did everything himself is like.
I saw some. Hang on,
Crazy.
let me go back. There was like a.
Hasn't like their most recent movie that he's done is it Ponyo, or have they done more since?
No, they've done more since then.
Oh wait, he did Ponyo?
Yeah, he did Ponyo, or yeah.
Now that's one movie
Ponyo's
I have
Ghibli.
seen.
Ponyo's
I
good.
love Ponyo.
So Miyazaki personally corrected or redrew more than 80,000 of this film's 144,000 animation cells.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he like put a lot of work. Like he's like very like just I don't know into his work.
That sounds terrible.
I feel like that's like that with a lot, especially with Asian cultures. Like,
Oh yeah,
Uh-huh.
that's like
they're intense.
the thing with Pokemon Gold and Silver was can't remember who it was, but it was one of like the higher ups in Nintendo. It was before he was like a higher up. He's the reason why Kanto is in Gold and Silver. Like he like personally like went in and like figured out how to like compress some of the code to fit like the all of Kanto onto the
That's pretty cool.
Game Boy
That's
Color.
insane.
I know, was it Sakurai that does the?
Yeah,
Smash
he does
Brothers
Smash
games?
Brothers.
He puts like a lot of time and commitment into
Yeah.
those games when he has to work on them.
Yeah, I think he like works himself to like not death obviously, but like he like really like
yeah,
fucks himself
That's
up.
some serious dedication.
Yeah.
This is also this movie, along with Spirited Away, are on a list of 1,001 movies you must see before you die, made by some guy. Yeah, so I think we'll do Nausicaa next week, because I feel like it'll be more in line with like the high fantasy of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every Ghibli movie is on there except for the
Every
one that
Ghibli
kinda
movie,
technically
yeah,
isn't one?
every Ghibli movie except for the Lupin the Third is on HBO Max.
Yeah, honestly, I remember every Ghibli movie, in my opinion, except for one, is really good.
Yeah, they're all great. I mean, they're all good movies.
So
Yeah,
I'd
this
be
movie
fine
looks
watching
weird.
them all
I'm
again.
watching the trailer. This looks weird. There's like a giant bug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to say if there's something about like beetles or scared.
Is this just anime Dune?
It might be.
It looks interesting. Oh my god, that looks ugly. What the?
I love just watching your reaction to it now.
Okay, this podcast from now on, we're just gonna watch me react to trailer. I'm not showing you the trailer. I'm not even gonna play the sound. I'm just gonna. So yeah, so I've seen for the Ghibli movies now that I've seen Spirited Away, I've seen Ponyo, I've seen Mononoke now, I've seen Totoro, and I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service. And I watched one.
Kiki's Delivers.
I can't remember. It might have been like Arrietty. I know that's one of his. Is like it's like there's like little tiny people. Yeah, it's Arrietty. I watched part of that. Secret World of Arrietty.
There's one that's like about some cat statue that comes to life or something.
Yeah, it's Mr. Catman. I can't. That's not the name of it, but it's.
Oh, I thought that was a real name. I was like, how original.
Hang on, I'll tell you what it's called. It's called. We can watch Porco Rosso. That's one about a pig.
That was pretty good. Yeah, a pig in like
Sounds
the World War or something
It's
like
like
that.
World War II pig.
Yeah.
What am I hearing?
What is the cat one? Where is it? I don't see it on here.
No.
Hang on, let me pull
The
up
cat
HBO
one.
Max. HBO Max.
When do we watch Grave of the Fireflies?
That one's on HBO, so I don't know. I don't want to cry myself to sleep at night. Yeah, there's a movie. It's
so
not a
sad.
Miyazaki movie, I think, but it is a Ghibli movie, and it's
Yeah?
it's like one of the saddest movies like ever, like of all time.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
It's really good, but like, it'll get you, man.
Oh, it's The Cat Returns. That's what it is. We should watch Porco
Oh, that
Rosso. I
Kiki's
want to watch.
Delivery
I want to watch a pig.
Service.
I'm gonna watch a pig.
Oh, this is,
I mean,
so The
hang
Cat
on,
Returns
you
is
can-
the sequel. So we gotta watch the original first. Whisper of the Heart is the original.
How many movies has this man done?
19. Well, at least 20. That's how many are on HBO.
I know there's one he does that has like the John Denver song, West Virginia.
We
in it.
Road.
Yeah,
Really?
Country Roads. Yeah.
So Spencer, is the one you didn't like Pompoko? Because that's the one with the raccoons.
Yes. Yeah. I just remember like being halfway through
The
it. and, like,
Tanuki spend their
wanting
days
it to be
playing
over.
idly in the hillsides and squabbling over food until the construction of the huge new Tokyo suburb clears the nearby. This is just over the hedge.
Yeah.
Yeah, with transforming.
We should watch
raccoons,
Over the Hedge. That's a classic.
I've watched that several.
That's
I
my
do-
favorite.
We should watch some bad movies. We should like other than like
No.
not like Avatar, but I'm talking like bad that like you still kind of enjoy. Like so bad that it's
Yeah.
like at least you can make fun of it. Avatar was just like depressing.
Death Wish 3.
Take it back.
I'm just kidding, dude. I've never seen it. Calm down.
We should do an Adam Sandler movie sometime.
There's a.
We can do Click
Jack
and
and Jill.
Cry. I'm not watching Jack and Jill.
I'll cry.
I'm not gonna watch any
For-
fucking Adam Sandler movie. I'll tell you
For
that
those
right
of you
now.
The
wondering
Cobbler's
about.
a really good movie.
Shut up.
For
Shut
for those
up.
of you wondering
You telling
about
me to shut up?
Yes.
Have you
Death
seen
Wish
the Cobbler?
3.
No.
So in
It's a
Death
good
Wish
movie.
3, there's a 10-minute compilation on YouTube of every gunshot in Death Wish 3.
That sounds so bad.
Think about it. 10 minutes of just continuous firing. That's a
Yeah,
good movie.
I've seen more gunshots in 10 minutes in Call of Duty, dog.
Oof. Ooh, kill him.
So, yeah, so we
So
decided
Nausicaa next?
we're going to do Nausicaa next week. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
fine
sounds
with
good.
that.
So, I know like we're doing this in Howls, but I'm fine with if we keep going or.
I mean,
whatever we
I
end
mean,
up
like,
doing.
I mean, obviously we're not going to just like, this isn't like a Studio Ghibli podcast, but like, I would like to do some of them just because like they're classics and like I feel like, especially because Michael's never seen them, like I want Michael to see them. But I haven't seen Nausicaa, so like this is also an excuse for me to watch them. The ones that I
Should we
haven't
have
seen.
like a checklist of all the. Because there are a list of like top 100 movies you should see before you die. Should we like keep a list of all these and try to go through them? Like not specifically going through those, but just like something that we keep on the
I
side.
mean,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
we
look,
can.
cross another one off.
Not to keep doing anime stuff, but the anime movie for Demon Hunt or Demon Slayer's coming out at some point.
Is it gonna be
We
English
should-
or is it gonna be?
It's probably gonna be Japanese.
It's probably gonna.
stuff.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be sub.
I think we should.
I can't
do
read.
that one, just because Demon Slayer's really good.
I stand with Michael on this.
Are there any My Hero Academia movies? Because I'll watch that in a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
I think there's a
Yeah,
couple actually.
Right, man, you
There
should
is
watch My
one,
Hero
yeah.
Academia. I think you'd really enjoy it. It's like if Harry Potter was good and they were superheroes.
Okay, wait, whoa, hold up.
Oh,
Harry
Luke's in the
Potter's
chat.
good.
We're gonna do Nausicaa next, Luke.
Nothing.
Let's say.
God, he's gotta respond. I wish I could see. This is a book. 1,000 movies you must see before you die. It's a book. I'm not gonna fucking buy a book. Just give me the
No,
goddamn
no.
list.
Why?
Michael, do you,
Yeah.
do you know if that Demon Slayer movie's coming to like what it's coming to?
I have no idea, honestly.
I want to see that.
I'll have to look after we're done with this, just because like I do this for my phone because I suck.
Here, I'll search
So
it
yeah,
while
we'll
we're
do some more Ghibli movies for a few weeks, and then maybe we can dip our toes into Lord of the Rings. I haven't seen them in a while, and I really would like to watch them. And I feel
choice.
like it'd be a good. I feel like we could really discuss Lord of the Rings. We could be here for hours discussing Lord of the Rings.
God.
Like when Viggo Mortensen broke his foot when he kicked the helmet in Two Towers,
yeah.
but he kept fucking going.
God,
yeah,
what a
and
man.
didn't he like actually he deflected a real knife at one point?
Yeah, there's like a scene where like it's a knife, or it's like Boromir throws the knife at him or something in the first one, like the end, and he like in that take they like the guy that threw it like actually like threw it at him and he like deflected it.
That's really cool.
And
actually.
like Sean Bean was like afraid of helicopters, so like he would like climb the mountain in his Boromir's gear like for every shoot instead of taking the helicopter because he didn't
Oh
want to get in the
my
helicopter.
God.
That's commitment, baby.
Ugh.
An actor such as Sean Bean has every right to be afraid of being in a helicopter. He dies in like everything he's in.
Luke said, if we can do 3 hours of Spider-Man, there's no telling what we're capable of with Lord of the Rings. It's true. That'd be like it'd be a podcast just as long as the movie.
We'd have to actually cut that one down.
I love Lord of the Rings though. Like if we watch Lord of the Rings, I'll probably cry talking about it. If we do like all 3 of them, like okay, tell me you didn't fucking cry when at the end of The Return of the King, when Samwise Gamgee says, "I can't carry it for you, Mr. Frodo, but I can carry you," and then he fucking carries his ass up the mountain. Woo! Woo! All right.
God.
Well,
my neighbor's gonna call the cops.
I feel like
on
we've
me.
been rambling for a little too long.
Yeah, we definitely have.
Thanks for joining me today, boys. Sorry Luke couldn't be here. He had a dental emergency.
Not on his part, on someone else's.
No, he pushed his kid down the stairs and had to go fix their teeth. But yeah, join us next week as we watch Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind, I believe is the full title.
I think so. Yeah.
Sounds right.
So yeah.
We'll just agree with whatever you say. Doesn't matter.
So what
I
would
would say Within Sky. I
do
don't even know.
how did you guys like? Obviously, we all liked the movie, right? Like we all enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but okay. I mean, I can't think of anything that I dislike. Oh, one thing I will say that I just remembered. The sound mixing compared to Spirited Away was much better. The music was never like too loud. Like
Oh, really?
yeah, on the HBO, at least on the HBO Max version of Spirited Away, like some of the audio, like some of the music was so loud at some points that you couldn't even like hear like the dialogue.
Now, that actually happened in this movie. It was towards the end. I actually had to turn on captions. It was whenever they were all battling. Like, it was around the time that the general, she lost her arm to the wolf. At some point right there, I couldn't understand a word anyone was saying.
Oh, I had subtitles on the whole time just because I knew I knew there was gonna be some wacky ass names that I was gonna have to write down. So I had.
Yeah. So,
You tell me Ashitaka isn't a Robin? How do you spell Ashitaka?
ASH Ataka. Come on, it's like attack with an A at the end.
ITAK.
So yeah, join us next week as we watch or as we discuss Nausicaa in the Valley of the Wind or whatever. But until then, don't go killing fucking forest gods because they'll turn into goo. Peace.
Yeah.